Hey guys, in this video we are going to look at buttons, and specifically we are going to look at how you can use these buttons as states. So I have with me three buttons here, and let me first show you the right sidebar settings for these buttons. So in buttons you have display type, so you can either make it look like a button or you can make it look like an image. If you toggle it to image, you'll just have an option to add an image and done some styling for those images, but I just chose to keep it as button. Then I'll add actions to those buttons, so whenever the user click the button, what actions you want to perform. So currently we have two actions here. We have the navigate to external page. So basically what this means is like whenever the user will click on this button, we are wanted to send them to some external link. So we can just add that link here. We can open that in a new tab. We can keep it open in a same tab. So interestingly, you have the conditionally enable action here. So for example, you want to conditionally send user to one website and you want to conditionally send user to some other website. So you can select that condition here. So let's say if you have some inputs, let's say that it's asking for, let's say, a price, and if the price is more than 200, and if the user click on this button, you want to send them to google.com, and if the price is below 200 and if the user click on this button, you want to send them to some other website. So that's it. That is how you would do with conditionally enable actions. Next, let's look at our example for this video, set inputs. So with set inputs we can use button as states. So let me show you what I mean here is, so you just first add the action set input and it will ask you for an input. So now here you will see a difference. It's asking for a variable and this one is asking for a input. So we don't have any inputs right now. We just head over to our left sidebar and now you will see you have quotients, variables and inputs. So let's just first read on what are inputs. So inputs allow you to define custom values that can be set in formulas and set via button actions. So these inputs you can just create them here. So let's say I want to say this is a tier tab. So basically if the user click on the tier 1 tab, I want to show this number input, and if the user click on the tier 2 tab, I want to show tier 2 input, and if the user click on the tier 3 tab, I want to show this input. Of course there are other ways to achieve the same thing with let's say select or radio buttons, but we are looking at the button use case here. So we just name this input tier tab, and you are seeing you don't have the formula here because these are inputs, and this will only be set. These values will only be set when the button is clicked. So because these are meant to be used with buttons. So I just named this tier tab. I just named this variable or reference tier underscore tab. Make sure you don't have numbers initially or it will give you an error. And then I'll just choose the default value to 1. I'm thinking of having the value 1, 2 and 3 for 3 of these tabs. Next, I have my inputs ready. So what I'll do is I'll just select set input tier tab, and I want to set it to a variable. So what variable we can use here is we'll just say we want it very simple variable. So like I want, when the user click on tier 1 tab, I want to just set this variable. I want to just set this input to 1, and when the user click on tier 2 tab, I want to set this tier tab input to 2, and so on. So we'll just create 3 variable, and we'll just call it tier 1 tab, and the output should be just 1. This is just a unique identifier 1, and this is the tier 2, and this will be just 2, and this will be tier 3 tab, and this will be 3. Let's just also name this tier 3 tab. So these are all set. Now what we'll do is when the user click on tier 1, we just set the value to tier 1 tab, and when the user click on tier 2 button, we just add an input set input, and we just say set input to tier tab, and we just set the value to this variable, which is this one, which has the value of 2 just, and we just go on to set input 3, and we just set the value here to tier 3 tab. To verify this, we can also just add a formula here, and we just say input tier tab. Let's see if this is really working, and we just select our variable, which is tier tab, and let's just save it and hit preview. So if you click on tier 1, it should say 1. If you click on tier 2, it is saying tier 2. If you click on tier 3, it is saying tier 3. Now let's head over to our variable section and just create a pretty quick variable here, which will say is it tier 1, and we're just gonna use our input tier tab is equal to 1, and next we're gonna say is it tier 2, and we're gonna ask tier tab is equal to 2, and lastly we're gonna say is it tier 3, and we're gonna say tier tab is equal to 3. Now we have three conditions for our conditional visibility to work. So what lastly I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna just go to tier 1 usage for number input. I'm just gonna enable the conditional visibility, and I am just gonna select is it tier 1. Next I'm just gonna toggle the conditional visibility here, and I'm just gonna ask is it tier 2, and for this one I'm also gonna enable the conditional visibility, and I'm gonna ask is it tier 3. So let's see, let's just delete this one and see this one in action. So if the tier 1 is clicked, we are seeing an input tier 1 usage. If the tier 2 is selected, we are seeing the usage tier 2 is selected, excuse me. And if we are click on the tier 3 button, we are seeing tier 3 usage. So this is how you use a button as it states, and stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you next time.